gentlemen, it is time for your PCW Ultra main event of the evening.
Main event time here at PCW Ultra Anniversary 2K19. And there you see the challenger, the effing machine, Brian Cage, who has been a long-time contender for the Ultra Championship. One of the original contenders. Of course, was part of that big tidal wave tournament. Advanced all the way to the finals where he was just barely edged out by the first ever champion, Pentel Cerro Nieto, looking to claim Ultra Championship gold here in our main event.
What a match this is going to be, one we've looked forward to through the new year and into this third and now fourth year for PCW Ultra. What a better way to put 3 years in the books and stamp on it than to have the effing machine, Brian Cage, in the house and ready to challenge and take what he feels is rightfully his, the PCW Ultra Heavyweight Championship.
The Swolverine looking like he climbed right out of a comic book. He looks bigger than ever. Now that music can mean only one thing, Christian Cole. Sit down and stop dancing. Give me a break.
I'm glad I'm not sitting over there. Gotta be having to dodge all the panties getting thrown over at Swerve Strickland right now. You know, Todd, I'm a heterosexual man, but this man is so hot. And I'm not afraid to say it. I mean, just look at him. He's like a combination of Michael B. Jordan's Killmonger mixed with a little bit of Adonis Creed mixed with, I mean, I just think he's the coolest dude in the world. I'm not gonna lie. I'm wondering if I can get my hair like that.
One of the coolest dudes in the world and one of the most decorated champions in PCW Ultra history.
Do you think he'd introduce me to his barber?
I don't know if that would work for you, Christian.
Probably a championship barber only. That barber probably only works on champions. Floyd Money Mayweather and Swerve Strickland.
I don't know if you can grade that pompadour you got going. Strickland, the first man to win championship gold in 2 divisions. History was made earlier tonight where he officially relinquished the ultralight championship. Of course,
what a humble moment that was for the champ, Shane Strickland.
Oh yes, very humble.
So modest.
Nobody will be able to live up to what he's done.
It was so humbling for me to see a humble experience in one of the most modest men in professional wrestling. He politely gave away that championship. He had a very nice farewell speech to the division. It was brilliant, and I think we all could learn something from this man.
Now the point is that at Possess, Strickland made the challenge and moved up in divisions to the Ultra Championship division. Now, as I mentioned earlier, that's going to be put to the ultimate test here, Christian Cole, because he's taking on a superhuman, super heavyweight in the effing machine, Brian Cage, here to set the stage for our main event, Dan Masters.
Wrestling fans here in Wilmington, California, and the PCW Ultra faithful viewing around the world, it's time for your main event of the evening. This contest, 1 fall, 60-minute time limit. It's for the Ultra Championship. And your official in charge of the action when the bell rings, senior official Rick Knox. Introducing first, your challenger. He hails from the 5'9", weighing 272 pounds. He is the Swolverine, Mr. GMSI, the effing machine, Brian Cage. His opponent is our current reigning, defending Ultra Champion from Tacoma, Washington, weighing in at 200 pounds, Shane "Swerve" Strickland. One ball for the Ultra Championship.
Stage is set. Historic first title defense for Shane Strickland, but partner, it certainly doesn't get any easier for him. In the world of MMA, you've seen people change weight classes. Think of Daniel Cormier at one time. Randy Couture went up and defeated Tim Sylvia for the UFC heavyweight crown.
I remember when the Ultimate Warrior defeated Hulk Hogan, he became Intercontinental and World Champion. Todd, wipe that tear from your eye. I remember all those times, Todd, yes.
You love to bring that up, but can Strickland,
One Warrior Nation,
defend the title against the likes of the effing machine?
Yes. And that's it.
Well, we know he's going to defend it. Can he successfully defend it?
Oh, successfully? Yes.
Bell sounds, we're about to find out. The PCW Ultra Championship has eluded Brian Cage, although he's had a couple shots at it. First, that big title tournament at Title Wave, and then again with a one-on-one encounter with Johnny Ultra. Johnny Ultra utilizing the low blow to eke out a victory there. But another big opportunity here for Brian Cage.
And Cage comes into this championship match with a shiner on that left eye. A lot of swelling. You have to wonder if the swelling has gone down enough in the last number of days to allow him to see clearly from that left eye.
And it certainly seems
you gotta be quicker than that.
Trying to catch that dollar, are you? It's affecting him here because, and that along with the agility of the champion is a hill that the effort machine's going to have to climb. But once he gets a hold of you, you're in trouble. You see it there, and Swerve, very slick there, able to get under the rope and get to the safety of the outside.
Look at this. Swerve's just going to take his time. He's brilliant. He's the champ now. And what we've seen from Anderson Silva and a lot of champions in past days is you have to go after their title. You have to come after Shane Strickland. If Shane wants, he can just leave. Get counted out and keep his championship. The fact that he's even willing to go in there and work with Brian and wrestle Brian shows that he's a defending champion, and he deserves a round of applause, Todd.
That's a fair point. Champion's advantage certainly on the side of Shane Strickland. We'll see if he decides to utilize it. He certainly has not allowed the challenger to string any offense or momentum together just yet. Human game of chess, very much evident in the early going. Again, the speed on display, and Strickland goes straight upstairs with a shot. And that which doesn't kill him only pisses him off more.
Oh my God. Beautiful shoulder block by Brian Cage, who's an absolute monster, and this is what Shane wanted to avoid. He didn't want to be isolated in the corner. Strickland does not want to be taking this type of abuse from the likes of Brian Cage.
Clubbing shots by Brian Cage, and the effort machine takes the champ right off his feet. An absolute decleater. The agony etched over the face of Strickland. Welcome to the Ultra Division, champ.
And that clothesline's not just an ordinary clothesline when it's delivered by Brian Cage. There's cement in those arms. Imagine getting yourself hit in the throat with a block of cement.
And look at the agility of Brian Cage. I mean, have you ever seen a specimen quite like the effort machine?
No.
Nice head. Scissors takedown though by the champion, follows up by the drop kick, but just knocks it back a step or two, and now you see the results.
I put Brian Cage up there with some of the top athletes in the world in any sport. If you are a student of pro wrestling, if you have watched pro wrestling for a number of decades, you know that not every day does a guy come in here at near 300 pounds with six-pack abs and do moonsaults. I mean, his ability to catch men in suplex positions as they dive from the ring, Todd. It's absolutely extraordinary. Brian Cage, a generational type of talent.
It's really interesting matchup when you figure that Shane Strickland was a light heavyweight champion that came up and won the Ultra Championship, and Brian Cage is a super heavyweight that moves like a light heavyweight competitor.
That's exactly right. It's one of the reasons his meteoric rise has come so quickly. And Brian just so impressive. Had his breakout moments happen on Lucha Underground and been a big star ever since.
Become stars all over the world. Look out here. Catches him in midair, doing some reps. Gonna get those gains and just dumps him like a sack of potatoes like yesterday's news. And that might be exactly what Strickland is after this matchup. This might be the shortest title reign in PCW Ultra history.
Dan Masters told us earlier tonight that Shane Strickland is 200 pounds and Brian Cage just curled him 6 or 8 times. And I challenge you to try and curl 30 pounds, you nerd.
I played football at USC, dude.
That was 57 years ago.
I wish. Our team would have been better if it was the case. Challenger in control right now, however.
Did you play with that Greek guy?
Ah, Petros, yes, Papadakis. Look out here, up and over by the champion, but again, the agility, unlikely agility of Cage is something you're gonna have to contend with, and now trying to take out one of those big branches. Shane Strickland.
We talked about the cement within the arms of Cage as Strickland looks for a cover here. Right shoulder is up, only one. Maybe Strickland a little too eager with that cover, but he talks about the cement within those arms, and that Brian Cage is basically made out of rock and steel, and even performing offensive maneuvers against a guy like Cage can be painful.
Stress being put on the digits here. You take out the fingers, he can't grab you. You start to take away things like the drill claw, like the F5. Really punishing Brian Cage now is Shane Strickland. Sound strategy for the champion. No surprise there. He's always got a plan.
Always. We want you folks to weigh in on this championship match, this historic night here on our 3rd year anniversary at A2K19 as PCW Ultra moves into our 4th year. And that's just crazy to say. We want you on our social media blowing us up. What are your thoughts about this event? Use the hashtag A2K19 or tweet at PCW Ultra or any of our roster or our stars here. You can even follow Nighttime Toddy or Christian Cole on Twitter.
There you go. Slowing the pace down now.
That's how you do a plug, Daddy.
I like it. Shane Strickland starts to dismantle the challenger and continuing that to press the offensive, form across the face, not allowing Brian Cage to get a breather of any sort. And he took down one arm. You got to just take apart this Frankenstein's monster piece by piece.
This matchup somewhat controversial when I spoke with a lot of the fans through Twitter and other mediums and discussing with them why would Brian Cage get a championship shot. It was easy for me to explain. The fact is that he's one of the top performers in our industry today, internationally. Brian Cage is a huge star and has proved himself over and over again, whether it be in Impact Wrestling or in his past appearances here in PCW Ultra, one of the most touted free agents in wrestling. And tonight, he looks to earn himself a long-term contract here and walk out with that heavyweight title. Man, what it would be like to have Brian Cage be the face of this company.
Oh, certainly. But what about Shane Strickland, the only 2-division champion? And, you know, you got to believe he's got a lengthy title reign in view. And when you think of what's coming, look out here. He was looking for the F5. We were about to crown a new champion, but that punishment on the arm is paying dividends for Strickland, who catches the big man, and he is on rubbery legs.
Cage, yeah, he's in a bad spot. Fatigued from the length of this match so far. And look at this submission maneuver. Brilliant jiu-jitsu skills as Shane Strickland rolls over, sweeps, and gets that right and left arm trapped. Almost a crucifix armbar position you're witnessing here.
And he can really dismantle the challenger here. Now steps over, so now that leg strength The AC joint of the shoulder is screaming, ligaments are screaming. And this is sound strategy here too, because look, the human body can only hold cover now by the champion, can only hold so much muscle.
Yeah.
Okay, those joints are already tested by Brian Cage. And if the champion can dismantle him one piece at a time, he takes away all of that offense, and Mr. GMSI isn't going to be getting anything in.
Yeah, and the amount of lactic acid that Brian has going through his body, storing and changing the chemistry of his blood and body, can fatigue him, quite frankly, in a match with a guy like Shane, who's so fast and handsome, by the way, but fast is more important. And the fact is that Shane Strickland, his game plan's coming to fruition here. It's working perfectly. Oh, God, except right there.
Boy, almost caught the head of Shane Strickland in the third or fourth row. What a shot. Oh, and this is one of his favorites, one of his signatures, talking about the effing machine, Brian Cage, if he can hit this huge suspended suplex, but well scouted there by Swerve, and now attacking the lower body. We talked about it, partner. Take them apart, piece by piece, appendage by appendage. The champ is doing just that. German suplex, wow.
Snapping German in for the cover. Whoa, and that's only two, says Rick Knox, who was ever so close to slapping that mat 3 times. And wow, I mean, Shane Strickland is so impressive.
Look at that, no wasted motion. Look at the way he pins that leg back on the dissection pan and goes right back to work, partner.
That's exactly right. Shane Strickland working on that left leg now of Brian Cage, trying to cut the monster in half.
Wow, beautiful, and he's got him dead center in the ring, driving the knee now.
Boy, oh boy, that doesn't look good, the way that Brian is writhing in pain. You can see his left leg taking some severe damage here. And Shane, like there's a target on his knee pad, he's just going right after it.
I think this has really stunned the faithful as well, and we've talked about it throughout the match. But, you know, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. How do you take away a monster, take apart a monster one body part at a time? That's what Strickland's doing, and it's very effective thus far.
Shane Strickland, a controversial figure, a controversial PCW Ultra champion, but I mean, the fact is that he's fundamental too, and he might be caught here. Brian trying to get a hold of that neck and able to fight out. Shane didn't want to go into a rear naked choke there, so he needed to roll back out from his submission. He's gonna go right back after it though. Look at this, Todd.
He's got a spinning toe hold right now. Could elect to try and tie up into a figure 4, but again, so tough to grab a hold on this massively muscled physique of the effing machine.
Shane really bending that knee in ways you're not supposed to bend it. Brian doesn't have the dexterity of a guy 200 pounds like Shane Strickland. I mean, he's nearly 300 pounds of rock solid muscle. It's just a different physiology.
Went for another rotation on that spinning toe hold. Just kicked off, but a step slower for certain now as Brian Cage. But adrenaline can do wonders. Look at this throw. Beautiful balance by the champion, and he stays on the offensive. Wow.
Beautiful kick. That was incredible, right to the back of the head of Cage. And Swerve's known to do whatever it takes to win matches, and will he do whatever it takes to retain his title, able to land on his feet.
Wow.
Nasty super kick.
Beautiful job of the champion calling the audible there, and comes up with a shot nonetheless. Blocked there by the challenger. Oh, look at this. You talk about the Ultimate Warrior. Here's a gorilla press, gonna throw for distance perhaps. Take the champ home.
Brian Cage just threw Swerve Strickland into the second row. And I hope everybody's all right out there. Brian Cage just disposed of the champion like he was waste.
Little page out of the Hammerstone playbook. Of course, Cage had a couple of incredible wars with Hammerstone back in the day.
Certainly reminded me of Hammer.
Those took place right here in PCW Ultra. Check those out on Amazon Prime. We thank you for watching live on Fight TV. What an incredible night it's been of action, history made, but an incredible championship main event here, a true battle of styles. They say styles make fights, partner, and that's the case here, our championship main event.
That's exactly right. There's a reason everyone was looking so forward to this match. These two men delivering on all cylinders now. Look at this. God, he deadlifted him from the apron. Cover now. I mean, I'm so shocked and yet not shocked. It's not surprising to see Brian Cage display the strength that he does, but it never gets old watching this dude work and wrestle and manhandle champions like Shane Strickland.
Brian Cage having to dig way down deep to get that deadlift springboard suplex because of the punishment that Strickland has put on the entire body of the challenger, but there you see it goes right back there.
Yeah, attacking that left arm. He didn't forget about it. He's been doing damage on that arm for 15 minutes or so. And
beautiful joint manipulation now, but gets caught into a power slam. Beautifully done.
That
New
could be
champion
it, Todd.
to
That
be
could be
crowned.
it.
No.
So close. Brian Cage to becoming the Ultra Champion. And Brian Cage, man, I mean, he's got to be shocked. With one arm, he was able to get in there, get a cover. Rick Knox right on top, one of the best referees in the game, but only 2.5.
But look at the way he's clutching that left arm to the body. It's hanging like a piece of meat, and in Cage's case, that's like a side of beef. Out the back door again, goes the champ, goes downstairs, taking advantage of that residual damage throughout the matchup, Christian.
Shane Strickland, though, also in a lot of pain and grabbing his left arm and chest area.
Yeah, moments ago, that big counter into the power slam by Cage. Thought we might have seen the end of Strickland's reign, but now again dissecting the knee. This ring turning into one big operating table for the champion. Tornado DDT, beautifully done. Successful first tile defense. Not yet, that was close.
Ever so close to going back to hanging out with beautiful women and doing his thing as the champion of this great company, the champion of America, in my opinion. Shane Strickland, the best wrestler, certainly in America, if not the whole world. And look how he's got Brian Cage strewn on his back. You don't see Cage in this position very often.
Now you stole the words right out of my mouth. Not too many people can put Brian Cage into this seemingly helpless position at this point, and Strickland might just look for that TKO to strikes and put him away, trying to grab a hold of the arm. Brian Cage doing his best to keep it close into grasp.
Yeah, Brian not giving up that left arm for the arm bar. As weak as it is, still strong enough to control. Rolls over, look at that, beautiful sweep by Cage, who now has top position. And look at Cage now, has changed the entire submission.
Almost a standing clover leaf here. Just really bending. And now he's got the knee in there, almost like a lion tamer. The challenger just bending the champion in half.
And Brian Cage bench presses over 500 pounds. The amount of strength and weight that he's putting on the lower back and neck of Strickland, who finally gets to the ropes, thank God.
Strickland needs that core to get the full extension in that swerve stomp. I don't know if he's going to be able to do that at this point. So both champion and challenger doing everything they can to nullify the heavy artillery of their opponent. What a match.
Yeah, Hangman's on the arm there. That top rope right into the armpit of Cage, and look at Swerve! Swerve with that cutter from nowhere! Cover! Oh my God!
And that's where the body weight of Cage works against him, because it adds so much to the impact of that move.
Yeah, near 300 pounds of muscle coming down, crashing, blowing the air out of your lungs. It can make you nauseous, it can make you dizzy. And Brian trying to grab air from wherever he can now to refill his lungs and re-energize. He's in a bad way, Todd. These are vicious elbows he's taken from the bottom. And Shane's got his back. This is bad.
It is. I mentioned minutes ago that Strickland maybe could finish this with strikes. He's in a position to do so again, but not if the effing machine has anything to say. Just had him like a backpack there, and now look out here. Strickland survives again, but now is it going to come down to fundamental wrestling? These two can do a hell of a lot of damage given a little bit of space. Look at that discus clothesline, but what kept Strickland going? Now they're both out.
Shane Strickland Eats a clothesline, able to land on his knees and toes and come back up to his feet and pop Brian Cage right back down to the canvas. And we have a cat's game here deep into this championship match.
There have been a lot of close calls in this one for champion and challenger, and I would be remiss if I didn't quote the late, great Mean Gene Okerlund to say that close only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades.
Rest in peace to one of the greatest of all time, Mean Gene, who would be probably ranting and raving about these two stars in the ring and their performance here tonight. Brian Cage and Shane Strickland showing how important this PCW Ultra title is to each one of them. And
I know something Mean Gene would absolutely say to you, and that's put that cigarette out.
To vape, Mean Gene.
This incredible championship encounter continues here at Anniversary 2K19. Swing and a miss by the challenger. Pinpoint strike the other way by Swerve.
Both men somehow spilling out to the apron now. This is a dangerous place here. Steel beams underneath the toes of the champ and the challenger. And
Strickland going for a new squat max here, partner.
damn, he got it. Look at that strength of Swerve Strickland. My God, the spine crashing off the corner. And Strickland, the emotion running through him as he knows the damage he just did to that man.
Death Valley driver right there on the apron. And the championship aspirations at Cage might be dead or dying here. And the full court press. And now it's Cage out to the outside.
And this action has actually spilled over the guardrail into the first row of the PCW Ultra faithful.
And has been the case since the early days of PCW Ultra, when championship gold is on the line in these championship matches, and especially Ultra Championship main event. The official going to allow a lot of leniency. We want to see a winner.
And that's a Rick Knox thing. Rick Knox has been around a long time. He knows what the Southern California fans want to see. And they want to see a finish. And Rick allowing this thing to continue. Not going to count anybody out or disqualify anybody in this title match.
Yeah. I tell you, man, the way these two are going, you get a sleeping bag. This thing could go all night.
Look at Shane now. Shane with a double stomp from the middle rope to the outside over the guardrail, and he might have broken the ribs of Brian Cage.
I say sleeping bag, more like body bag here. What a shot, the Swerve stomp. I don't think Brian Cage knows where he is at this point. And he might be one stomp away here, the champion, for retaining in his first title defense. He's perched his Strickland.
Cage's ribs may be shattered. Will his championship dreams shatter too? Swerve stomp to the head from Shane Strickland. Is this it? Oh my God, so close.
What is it gonna take?
What the hell is happening tonight, Todd? We've seen signature maneuvers from many wrestlers tonight and so many people kicking out. It shows you 3 years of this company and everyone knows how much this means.
Strickland won the title in a hellacious matchup with Penta last time out, and now defending it in an equally taxing first title defense against the effing Machine, who just keeps on running.
Shane Strickland ripping off that wrist tape, discarding it to the side. He's been through grueling hell with Brian Cage in this match, and
try and turn out that red light of the Terminator here. Pulling the knee pad down, looking for a little bone on bone. Strickland measuring the challenger. Kill shot coming. Right up the middle. Down goes the challenger, deep hook. Oh, he kicked out at one. What the hell?
I am speechless. Brian Cage is inhuman.
And it might be Judgment Day for the champion.
Beautiful powerbomb by Cage. Look at Cage. He's a maniac right now. He wants the Ultra Championship. Look at Brian Cage spinning powerbomb. Cover.
Third straight powerbomb into the cover. Only a count of two, and now now the doubt creeps into the challenger. Power bomb, buckle bomb, spinning power bomb, and yet Strickland is still alive. But his title reign might be on life support here, partner.
Don't let it be. No drill claw.
Oh, he's looking for the weapon X, that very special. Strickland slipped out of there. That misdirection play, we saw how effective he was with that against Penta when he took the man's mask off, rolled him up for the title, keeping Cage guessing now. Rolls through, catches a big knee by the challenger. Uh-oh.
No way.
You foreshadowed it here,
No.
partner.
Oh, he rolled out! He rolled it out! Oh, he got it! Oh, yes! Oh, yes! Successful defense by Shane Strickland!
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner, and still Ultra Champion, the International King of Swerve, Shane Strickland.
And what do you got to say about that now, Todd? Swerve Shane Strickland comes in, no controversy, no mask, no low blows, no foot under the rope. He humbly, and I repeat, he humbly discards that lightweight title and comes in and defends his heavyweight championship against one of the baddest asses in the business, Brian Cage. Shane Strickland is the man.